Alright guys, welcome back. The second thing to set up is actually an actor that we put into the scene that does the rendering and capture part. So that's going to be another class. I'm going to call this guy, this is going to be of the type actor, and we can call this guy headshot renderer or something. Oh, that's already our class. How about this? We just call this guy renderer. Actor renderer, yeah, something like that, I guess. Create class. Okay, this actor renderer will be rendering out whatever we need to be rendered out into an image, basically. So this one requires to know or to have some components here. Okay, let me go to a private part and view property, and then there's going to be of the type class using capture component 2D. I'm gonna call this guy capture or something. Okay, and then this particular component is the component we render out through the capture, right? And in the constructor, of course, we need to set it up. The first thing I also wanted to do is to have the root component initialized. Create default subobject using component. Call this guy root component, which requires us to have the scene component. Scene component, and we also have to have the other component, the scene capture component. Component 2D, I believe, and then our scene component capture actually will be equals to create default subobjects you scene capture component 2D, right? And this will be called capture as well. Capture doesn't like that because I have the type wrong, maybe. Okay, no problem there. So we have the capture there, and then we just say capture will be set up attachment. We're gonna attach it, of course, to the root component, and that should be it. Okay, and then I don't think we need to have anything else to be specific, but let's try to debug it. I'm gonna go do some log temp warning text, and this will be begin play. And the other one is ticking. I have a copy of that. Ticking. Okay, so we have two loggings going out, and we need to just basically add this one into our preview scene. So back here to the headshot renderer, we can just say, hey, the preview scene will be that's where we created it, right? And we just spawn a renderer there, our actor renderer. So include actor render, and also I need to hold a reference of the actual type because we need to create a blueprint version out of it. So view property, edit defaults only, category equals to headshot render, something like that, and then t subclass of, and then class what's the name, a actor render. I'm gonna call this guy renderer class, something like that. Renderer class, and then that's gonna be the one we use to initialize or to create one, right? So we need to just spawn it. Okay. All right. The spawning requires to have some spawn parameters. You can omit that if you feel like it's should be okay. Let's go for the easy route. We're just gonna say, hey, preview scene get world spawn actor, just spawn actor there, and the type is going to be a actor renderer, and then the class will be renderer class, and that should be it actually. So we can also hold a reference of it. I don't know if we need to put that into a member. If we're able to set it up here right away and don't need to access it, we probably don't have to. I don't know. But let me hold a reference of it. I think I may need to access it later. So a actor renderer pointer. I'm gonna call this guy renderer. Okay. And then we can make that equals to the spawn actor, and then we can just say, hey, if the renderer is there. I don't have to do anything to it yet, so let's just keep it as simple as this. So once we have this one added into the world in the previous scene, we should be able to see it both doing the begin play and the ticking, right? That's the idea here, okay, because we have the debug log in there. All right, now back here to our editor, let's compile this one. And once it's finished, we can actually make a blueprint class out of it. And let me put it into the widget, and then it's gonna be called BP. Maybe headshot renderer. Render actor, maybe, just to be very specific there. And this one, as you can see, has a capture in there, right? That's gonna be the one actually we cannot access it because I didn't mark it as anything editable. So back here to our actor renderer, this one has to be visible, defaults only. I believe, so that it's able to be seen and adjusted. So let me compile one more time just to be able to see, to be able to move it. I think that will allow us to move it. Yeah, now we're able to move it. Let me also add in a skeletal mesh, and then here we're going to load our player character there. Okay. This, of course, can be dynamically changed based on who is the one using it, so we can deal with that. Okay, but for now, let's just have this one in there. Let me have the capture and drag it out, make it facing the actor here. Maybe look it down a bit. Now, this is basically what we're trying to renderize through this camera to render our player character, and then eventually get that render result into a render target, and then put on the image on the UI. That's the basic idea, and it's all done in the separated preview scene that's never existing in the world. Okay, now before we do anything to the render target, let's test if our begin play and ticking is working. So we also then need to make a specific widget that's of the type headshot renderer. That's right. Call this guy WBP headshot. And then in our in-game UI, we need to add in our WBP headshot into the canvas panel. Okay, currently doesn't have anything, but let me anchor it to the lower right corner. Let me make it a little bit bigger. We don't need to see anything. That's fine, right? We don't need to. We're just currently trying to test if the ticking is happening, which means that in our WBP headshot, we need to actually specify the class, the renderer class, which is doesn't have anything. Interesting, because I'm pretty sure this one is based off the type headshot renderer. Interesting. Let's check actor renderer. If that's happening, I can first close the editor, because that could be the issue. You have to recompile it sometimes, and also make sure that I'm having the correct type. Should be. Okay, let's try to run it one more time. Yeah, this is when Unreal changes to Unreal Engine 5. There's some problem with the live coding. It's not as cohesive as the Unreal Engine 4 version for some reason. I don't know. But sometimes you have to recompile to see the types being recognized. So let me try that again, right? So here now in our hashout graph, we can see now we should be able to pick the BP hashout renderer. Right, that's going to be our render actor now. Okay, let's play the game. You can see now we see the begin play, but we don't see the ticking there, which is not good. So let me stop it. Okay, so something is wrong with our ticking. Let's take a look at the render there. We're ticking it. So I believe we have to set it to be able to tick. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. So in our construct, we can see we can say preview scene. Wait. Yeah, we're ticking here. So let's try to add in preview scene. Get world. Set tick should tick equals to true. Hopefully that will enable the world to be ticking. We're not returning there because we have the begin play. We're ticking. Let me just have a look here to make sure that we are calling it. We should be. Ticking. Okay. And try it one more time. Yeah, we're not calling the ticking for some reason. Let me think. Maybe I forgot to call the native construct. Maybe. So let's try that. Native construct. Because if you don't construct it from the super, you may have something that's not initialized, maybe. Yeah, let's try that one more time, and it should be fun now. Yeah, now we're seeing the ticking, and we see both ticking happening, which is good. That means that we do have an actor added into a previous scene. We got the ticking working as well. Let me get rid of that. And then we can also get rid of the debugging because they are actually working now. Okay. All right, that's going to be the second step. We have our other actor that's in charge of rendering now successfully into the scene. And the next step will be having a render target set up so we can render it out into an image. So that's going to be in the next video. All right, see you guys next time.